If you have ED, you've probably already tried some things to treat it. A pill, a supplement, a pump, a TikTok hack, maybe even something that you Googled at 2 a.m. and then immediately cleared from your history. Some ED remedies are genuinely useful and some are a waste of time and money. And some are the reason that I occasionally want to take the internet away from my clients for their own safety. I've been a sex and relationship coach for over a decade, and ED is one of the most common things that men come to me with after they've tried everything: the pills, the supplements, Reddit rabbit holes, whatever the algorithm served them when they were their most vulnerable. And so today I am ranking all of it, S tier through F tier, based on the science, the safety, whether it actually addresses the cause or just the symptom, and what I've seen with my real clients. Quick disclaimer before we dive in: if your ED came on suddenly, is getting worse, has pain or numbness associated with it, major libido changes, chest symptoms, or started after a new medication, please talk to a qualified healthcare provider. This video is educational and not a substitute for getting checked out. Thank you so much. ED is a check engine light, not a life sentence. It's your body's way of telling you that something is worth listening to or looking under the hood at. And the men who I have worked with who made the biggest changes were the ones who treated ED as a signal instead of a sentence. And that's what this video is all about, helping you to stop guessing, stop experimenting on your precious body, stop panicking, and start understanding what actually works. Let's jump in with the first one. We gotta get it out of the way. Lifestyle. This is S tier. I know, deeply annoying. No one wants their sexpert to show up and say, have you tried sleeping and going for a walk? But I'd be lying if I put it anywhere else. Lifestyle is S tier. ED is often a vascular signal, especially for men over 40. The penis is basically a blood flow barometer, and because those vessels are small and sensitive, erection changes show up before other cardiovascular issues become obvious. If you don't believe me, one Harvard-cited study found that 30 minutes of walking a day was linked to a 41% lower risk of erectile dysfunction. Not a supplement or a prescription or anything that costs you money. It's totally free. The least sexy remedy on this list, but probably the most powerful. Bad sleep also has to be mentioned here because it messes with testosterone and stress hormones and the nervous system, and all of that plays a key role in arousal. Smoking also damages blood vessels, and poor metabolic health can drive dysfunction and can be the underlying cause underneath vascular ED. None of these offer a quick fix, but if you want erections that are more reliable over time, this is the foundation. Now that we've covered the least sexy thing that actually works, let's talk about some things that absolutely do not work. Vicks Vaporub, F tier. You see, I am an elder millennial, and when I was in high school, a friend once called me on my family's landline in a serious panic because he had put icy hot all over his and so when I see this Vicks Vaporub going viral as an ED hack, I am not at all surprised. I'm just disappointed that the internet hasn't come up with anything better in the last 2 decades. The idea is that menthol creates tingling and brings blood flow to the surface. But tingling and surface level blood flow are not the same mechanism that causes erection. Of course, they both require blood, but erections are a deep vascular event. And what Vicks or Icy Hot or any other topical, even the topicals that they sell as like ED creams, actually do is just bring blood and sensation to the surface at best. But at worst, they can cause burning, irritation, contact dermatitis. For example, camphor, which is one of the active ingredients in Vaporub, is not something that you want anywhere near your delicate genital tissue. Your penis is not a stuffy nose, so please do not put Vicks on it. This is my professional opinion and my elder millennial wisdom and the end of my public service announcement. All right, let's talk about testosterone optimization. This gets A tier. This genuinely works, but it's only going to work for the men who need it. You see, testosterone optimization gets A tier with an asterisk for me. Low testosterone can absolutely contribute to low libido and for some men, erectile dysfunction, but this only matters if you're actually deficient, because chronic stress and poor sleep and excess weight and age all also chip away at your testosterone levels over time and show up in the bedroom. If your levels are normal, adding testosterone isn't a bedroom upgrade. It can actually shut down your natural testosterone production, it can affect your fertility, and it can create real health risks. Do not start anything on a hunch. Get tested first. If you want a deeper look at your hormones and biomarkers, I recommend Marek Health. I'll link to them below, and you can use my code CaitlinB for a discount. Moving on. Gas station pills and male enhancement stacks. F tier. You have seen these. Those little like foil packets with names like Mega Beast Performance Boost, Rhino thunder or something else that sounds like it was invented by a 14-year-old boy who just got his first hit of testosterone, the FDA has repeatedly warned and proven that these products can contain hidden prescription drugs in unpredictable doses. So best case, you wasted money on, the equivalent of horny confetti. Worst case, you're taking unregulated medication with no idea of the dose or the quality or what it might interact with. If it's in a gas station, it's an F. Therapy and coaching, S tier. Now, I'm saying this not just because I am a coach, but because for a lot of men, the problem is not just blood flow. It's pressure, shame, fear, a nervous system that has learned that sex is a test that you can fail, and no pill in the world will touch that. I once worked with a man who was struggling to maintain erections in a new relationship, and his partner was naturally starting to wonder if they just didn't have any sexual chemistry. He was terrified that this pattern was going to ruin a connection that he deeply cared about. But within a couple sessions, we started seeing that this pattern was deeply rooted in insecurity from one of his earliest romantic relationships. His body had learned that exposing himself to another person sexually meant judgment. So every time he got close to a woman, a part of him was deeply bracing for criticism instead of relaxing into pressure. And honestly, it makes perfect sense that you would have trouble maintaining an erection if your nervous system thinks that intimacy is just the first step to being told what a bad person you are. When we brought his partner into the conversation, we helped him stop treating sex like a performance. They started to rebuild communication and safety and confidence. He was able to heal from the things that were in his past. And of course, their relationship and their bedroom chemistry shifted pretty quickly. That's just one example, but honestly, I've seen this pattern over and over and over. When ED has a psychological, relational, or a nervous system component, therapy and coaching can be game changing because they address the parts that no pill can actually touch. So if you want my support untangling your specific situation, my private coaching application is linked below. Pelvic floor exercises, B tier. Now you might be surprised to see this one on the list for me because I'm constantly reminding people your pelvic floor does not push blood into your erection, and having a tight pelvic floor can actually prevent you from getting hard. But it is also true that your pelvic floor muscles are directly involved in erectile rigidity, the angle of the dangle, and ejaculation control. Some studies have shown that pelvic floor exercises can support normal erectile function, but most men miss this part. The pelvic floor is not just about strength. It's also about coordination, relaxation, knowing when to contract and when to let go. And if your pelvic floor is already too tight, which is common in men who are dealing with anxiety, performance stress, chronic stress, pelvic pain, then more Kegels and more pelvic floor strengthening can actually make things worse. If you have pelvic pain, urinary symptoms, pain with ejaculation, see a pelvic floor physical therapist before adding any strengthening work. If none of that applies to you, just know that this is underrated, totally free, and worth your time. I've been waiting to talk about this next one forever, the blue salt trick, F tier. This is the one, you've probably seen these ads online where men are told to drink water with special blue salt because apparently salt that is expensive is beneficial for your penis. I'd never got what they were trying to say there. There is absolutely no clinical evidence that whatever the heck is in blue salt improves ED. It's salt with food coloring. And it's blue because that's the color of Viagra. It's just salt. They're just selling you salt. And if you are dealing with vascular ED, high blood pressure, or cardiovascular risk, then adding more salt is not exactly the best move for your body. Blue salt is not a natural Viagra. It's not ancient erection wisdom. It is a reminder that desperate men are very easy to market to. And I say that with love because you deserve better. Save your money, drink water, and get your blood pressure checked. Viagra, Cialis, and their generics, A tier. These things work. They are backed by clinical data. They're well understood, and they're very helpful for many men. They inhibit the enzyme that tells your erection that the party is over. In other words, they help you keep the blood flow signal going longer so that when you are aroused, it's easier to maintain an erection. Here's my honest position and why they are A tier and not S tier. They treat the symptom, not the cause. I know that some of you are going to be mad about that ranking, so hear me clearly. I'm not universally anti-Viagra. These medications can be incredibly useful, especially for men who have vascular ED or maybe a injury or something else that means that they can only get hard with the help of a PDE5 inhibitor. Totally fine. But there is a difference between getting hard tonight if you have an otherwise functioning body and understanding and getting to the root of why your erections are unreliable. A pill can help in the moment, but the deeper work is what actually helps you to rebuild trust in your body, become a great lover for your partner, and be able to enjoy sex without medications. Again, I want to differentiate. Some men will really benefit from these drugs, but if you don't really need them, I don't really think they're the best fit. It's like taking ibuprofen every time you have a headache instead of drinking the water that would make you hydrated that would prevent you from getting the headache in the first place. L-Arginine and L-Citrulline, these go in the B tier, and that is because they work upstream in the nitric oxide pathway. So it's sort of the same blood flow neighborhood as Viagra, but not the same mechanism, and usually a lot milder. There is evidence that supports improvements in erectile function, particularly with L-Arginine. And it's totally worth considering this as a complement to your lifestyle, but it's not necessarily a standalone solution. These are more support players as opposed to like the main event. Back alley injections and unlicensed substances, a big F. Obviously, I'm putting these in the F tier, but they need to be discussed because they are still happening. Silicone injections, unregulated medications from unverified sources, substances that are purchased from forums without medical oversight, have no quality control, no dosing accuracy, and there's no one responsible if something goes wrong. These have caused permanent disfigurement, serious infections, tissue damage, and in extreme cases, death. This is not the funny F tier. This is the one where I need you to actually hear me. Please don't your body, your health. It's just not worth it. Shockwave Therapy gets an A- B+ tier. Shockwave therapy is earnestly one of the most interesting options on this list, especially for vascular ED. Low intensity shockwave therapy uses acoustic waves to stimulate the repair process in penile tissue. The idea is that instead of just helping you get hard tonight, which they will not do, they require ongoing work, but they may improve the underlying vascular environment over time. I have worked with some men who had great results with these, and I worked with some men who didn't get so much results from these. So that's why I struggled to figure out which tier I should put them in. They are emerging technology and protocols vary a lot. You need to be careful about what you're doing. If you are a man who has vascular ED and you're working with a reputable device or reputable provider, then it's definitely worth discussing and very promising. Penis pumps get an A tier, also called vacuum erection devices, which I love. I know that some of y'all hear penis pump and immediately think Austin Powers, but these are real tools and they deserve way more respect than they get. What they do is they cause a vacuum that draws blood into the erectile tissue and creates an erection. With consistent use, they can also support penile rehabilitation by regularly bringing oxygenated blood into the tissue and keeping that system active. And that's why they are widely recommended by urologists for men who want a non-drug option. I personally prefer hydro pumps because the warm water helps to soften and relax the tissue, and they're easier to build into your shower routine than a pump that is maybe just sitting in your bedside drawer. My favorites are from Bathmate, and you can use code Caitlin10 for 10% off. The link is below. Just remember, no over pumping, stop if you feel pain, and do not treat your penis like you are inflating a flat bike tire. If your ED is primary psychological, this may not address the root cause on its own, but as a non-invasive, evidence-backed tool that supports blood flow and confidence, and maybe size increases, they're absolutely worth taking seriously. Zinc and vitamin D go in the C tier unless you are deficient. These are real nutrients that matter for hormones, immune function, and sexual health. And if you are low, correcting that deficiency can absolutely help your system to work better. But if your levels are already healthy, then taking more is unlikely to improve anything, including your erections. Get tested first and then supplement if you need to. Mediterranean diet and flavonoid-rich foods go in B tier because there is real data to support them. A joint Harvard and University of East Anglia study with over 50,000 men found that those who ate at least 3 portions of flavonoid-rich food per week were 10% less likely to develop ED. And when men combined a flavonoid-rich diet with regular exercise, they were 21% less likely to report ED. The foods with the strongest association included blueberries, cherries, blackberries, citrus fruits, and red wine. Now, this is obviously not a quick fix or a emergency button, but as long-term support for vascular health, it's meaningful. And honestly, blueberries and cherries, not the worst assignment I've ever given to someone with ED. Topical performance creams, D tier. That tingling, warming sensation is not treating the actual vascular mechanism of an erection. Most over-the-counter tingling creams create a surface sensation and they hope that you can fuse it with performance. But if it makes you feel more confident, then I'm not going to take away your your ritual. It's not an ED remedy, but it's not Vaporub, so I was a little more generous with this one. I think you should just save your money. Next up, herbal supplements. Horny goatweed, maca, tongkat ali, and the rest of that shelf go in the C tier. If we were ranking libido support, some of those could creep up to a B minus. But for actual erectile dysfunction, the evidence just isn't strong enough to justify the hype. Tongkat ali has a few small studies suggesting possible testosterone benefits. Maca has some good data for sexual desire, but sexual desire and erectile functioning are not the same. Wanting sex and maintaining an erection are related, but they are not interchangeable. If you have had a different experience, please tell me in the comments. I am so open to learning from you. I just want to separate what the science backs up to what's being oversold. And if you have some supplements that have supported your erectile dysfunction, understanding that of course, there's always going to be a placebo effect. I want to know. So there it is, the ED remedy list ranked by me, Caitlin V. And I hope that what you got from this video is that it's not natural is good and medication is bad, or pills are good and supplements are bad, or pumps are good. The real lesson is that the best ED remedy is the one that matches the cause of your ED. If the cause is vascular, you need blood flow support. If it's hormonal, then you need testing and maybe supplementation. If it's anxiety, shame, trauma, pressure, relationship tension, you need support from a coach or maybe a qualified therapist. And if it's pelvic floor tightness or medication, then you need the support of folks who are experts in those areas. Random remedies are just as expensive as any of the actual treatments. And that's the good news. ED is highly treatable. When you identify what's actually driving it, things can improve dramatically. Not just be managed, but genuinely transformed. When I created my course, Hard As You Want, I distinguished 45 different causes of ED that men had come to me for in coaching. That included physical, hormonal, psychological, relational, and more. In fact, the work that I did on Hard As You Want became my book, Harder, Better, Longer, Stronger. The issue with most of the advice that is given to men is that it looks at just a single slice. So if you want Hard As You Want, can walk you through the entire roadmap so that you can stop guessing and start rebuilding. The link for that course is below. If you want my help answering this question personally, my private coaching application is also linked below. Coaching is where we look at your specific situation and we build a real plan to understand what's actually driving the problem and address it. And of course, if you want to go deeper with a community of men who are serious about this work, I also have a Patreon where we share candid conversations, extra education, and nuanced discussions that don't always fit or wouldn't be welcome on YouTube. Please let me know which ranking of mine surprised you or which you disagree with in the comments below. I really want to know. I'm Caitlin V. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you here next week. Bye.